Yep, it says
We
live.
all right. Welcome, guys. I am Dan the Man with my partner in crime, Mike, the
What's up,
Walking Dead
everybody?
Mike, and we are talking everything Walking Dead. I mean, we're talking TV show, we're talking comics, we're talking who's the hottest woman on the Walking Dead, everything. We're talking everything. But Mike, I think we need to talk about the last episode. Always accountable, man. What were your feelings on that episode?
What is it? The sixth episode in. I think it was pretty
Yeah,
good, but
it was
it's
very Daryl, very Daryl.
yeah, very down. Yeah, we didn't even get that much of. I mean, we got a lot of Abraham and Sasha, but not as much as I thought from like the previews and the sneak peeks. But overall, I'd say a little disappointed in this episode and the two before that. But I really think that this group that we seen after the people that Dow ran into were the saviors, and if that's the case, then it makes me even more disappointed about this episode.
For real, for real. Do you think that's Dwight? You think that guy's Dwight?
If I had to put a lot of money on it, my money would go towards yes, that's Dwight.
Yeah, man. When I saw him come on screen, I'm like, dude, that's Dwight. That has to be Dwight. He looks like Dwight.
Yep.
Acts a little bit like Dwight. It has to be Dwight.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
I feel you, man. I mean, like the episode was just a little. It was disappointing. Actually, a couple of the episodes have been disappointing. I thought Morgan's episode would be a little bit more better, but I felt it just dragged on as well.
Yeah, especially that it was an hour and a half. I thought it would be much better, but yeah, it was a
Yeah,
little long for that episode too.
there was no reason for that to be an hour and a half. Honestly, it was just way too long. Way too long.
I
And
agree.
it felt like they were just trying to they didn't know what to do. They just kept on throwing stuff like more talking. That wasn't even very interesting, honestly, the dialogue. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree with you there. I mean, especially since you said it was an hour and a half. I mean, if we don't get the mid-season finale, an hour and a half, I
Yeah.
think that it was just a waste of time giving that hour and a half to Morgan. There wasn't even that much action in that episode.
No, but I gotta say, R.I.P. to the goat.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
What was this goat's name?
Tabitha.
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 Yeah, yeah.
R.I.P. Tabitha, man. That goat survived all that time.
We'll
But
go.
going back to last Sunday's episode, it definitely. How do you feel about Abraham and Sasha? How do you feel about that whole those two? It was really those two really getting along, really having an interaction with each other, more interaction, and I don't know. It looked like Abraham wanted to pork her, honestly.
That's that. I don't know. I think I did look like that. That they have like some. He has something for Sasha, which I didn't see that coming. If I had to put money on it, I did not see that coming. But I like them two together.
Spoilers. Spoilers. I'm sorry. Spoilers.
Yeah.
We should have said more spoilers for the comics and the
Oh
TV.
yeah, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers in this.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
because
like them together. I think
go ahead.
they got like a nice vibe together, which was unexpected. I didn't think that they would work well together like that.
Yeah, and we know from the comics, Abraham, cheats on Rosetta. Is it Rosetta or Rosita?
Rosita.
Rosita, yeah, Rosita. With Holly, and we see glimpses of Holly, but I don't know if Holly's going to be a big factor at all.
Yeah, I think she's dead now. Didn't she die in? That's the blonde girl from the comics, right?
No, that's Holly's the short-haired girl. She did die, but she died later on. Like she did a suicide mission, basically, when raiding Negan and the Saviors.
Yeah, I remember that in the TV show, but she's dead in the TV show, right?
Is she dead in a TV show?
Yeah, that's the one that was in the She was in one episode. That's the one that Dr. Denise couldn't save when she got stabbed, and they had to take
Was
the
it?
knife out of her. Yeah,
Oh,
that
I
was.
didn't notice that.
She was
I didn't
very
realize-
short-lived in the show, which was very disappointing. I thought they were going to go with the comic book storyline with her. She's gone. So maybe now Sasha's going to replace Holly's spot with like the love triangle, love interest thing.
That's what I felt like in the last episode. I felt like definitely Abraham, because Abraham is smitten with Sasha. Like he pretty much likes her. He even said like when he's all dressed up and stuff, and him and Sasha were looking at each other. You could just tell, yeah, he wants to get he wants to get some with Sasha.
Yeah, that's what those are vibes that I would get. Definitely.
Yeah. So the real, also one of the questions that we've been hearing, and it started off getting momentum and then it kind of died off, was is Sasha the new Andrea in the TV series? Do you feel that way?
A lot of people have been thinking that. As far as the love interest with Rick and Sasha, I don't know about that, but definitely like the sharpshooter traits that Andrea has in the comics and all that. I definitely see that, but I don't see the love interest with Rick and Sasha in the future.
Oh,
Right?
oh no, man! They haven't even like tried it. They haven't even tried. I don't remember the last time they really interacted with each other. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's been a while. With Sasha, I could definitely see him being a sharpshooter. But you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if they use Jesse in a TV show and just kind of make her the new Andrea. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked by that.
Oh man, I hope that doesn't. I hope it doesn't play out that way. I don't really like. I don't really
You
like
don't
that
like Jesse?
at
You
all.
don't like Jesse in the
Not at all.
TV series?
Not at all.
No, I'm not a big fan of her either. I wasn't a big fan of her in the comics either, honestly.
No, me neither. I wasn't a big fan of her in the comics or her sons.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, oh, so what's speaking of? I guess we're going to the romantic side. What is the deal with Denise and Tara?
I don't know that.
Where did that
I
come
jumped out of
from?
my seat when I seen that. I don't know. I'm not
I
sure.
was, I was watching it and I was like, those two are gonna kiss. Watch, and then it goes on a little bit, and then yeah, they do kiss. I'm like, I was right on the money. I knew it.
So you called it. I'm not too sure, man. But that I wouldn't be bothered by that. That's pretty cool that those two together. That's pretty cool. But I don't know if goes that way. I think it might have been just a kiss because she was happy about like helping that guy out with his wound, the infection. I think she was just very hyped about that, and that's why she gave Tara a kiss. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind them two getting together. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that might be the case. Also, like Eugene will be very sad. Eugene's still trying, dude. He's still trying.
Eugene's a man.
Tara.
Every time I see him, I laugh.
So we're gonna get to the comics pretty later on, and you definitely have an awesome theory what might happen. So we're gonna get into that later on. That has to do with Eugene, because Eugene right now is going a little bit crazy in the comics.
Yeah, and you can't blame him for it. Definitely can't.
Everything that's happened. So how do you feel so far with Morgan being part of the cast and just overall, just what he's doing right in these episodes?
Okay, Morgan's one of my favorite characters in the TV show. Not so much in the comics, but definitely one of my favorites in the TV show. And I have to tell you, Dan, very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Really?
I understand that he's living by this new code and all that, but he's gonna get people in the group killed because of his ways, his new ways. I don't know. I think he got to snap out of it real soon, or else I don't know. I don't like the path that they're bringing Morgan down in the TV show, but hopefully he'll snap out of it and start kicking some ass soon and killing people.
Oh man, Mike, I totally agree with you. Like Morgan is one of my favorite characters. You know this.
Yeah.
But just some of the decisions he's been making lately, it's just, you're right. He's going to get people killed. It's just, when the beginning of the season, when we saw the trailer and everything, I thought it was definitely going to be more of a rift between him and Rick. I thought it was going to be kind of a versus kind of thing, where they're going to have Morgan come in and fight with Rick on controlling the Alexandria. Morgan coming in, like, he does bring a lot to the series. He brings definitely acting credibility. He definitely makes the conversations more appealing. But the decisions and just the way he is so far, I'm not agreeing with. And I'm just saying to myself, Morgan, what are you doing? Why are you locking this guy in the house? He could definitely, one of the wolves, he could definitely get out and he could definitely do some damage. And especially when he let the wolves go who went after Rick.
Yeah, he almost. If Rick could have got killed because of that.
Yeah, so Morgan's decision making is one of the most shocking things I've seen in the series, because I thought he was going to be a lot smarter than that. He presented him to be smarter than that, and it hasn't really paid off so far since we're getting almost to the mid-season finale.
Yeah, and speaking of that wolf that you said he locked up, I personally think since he's seen the wound on that wolf, he's waiting for that wolf to turn into a walker, so he has the excuse to kill him.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we're definitely going to see that wolf again. I think that wolf is probably, I hate to say it, but probably going to kill one of our group members. And
Oh man, that would just totally, and it would definitely. I guess the good thing would it definitely cripple Morgan,
yeah,
and for character development and just character wise, that would really be very interesting because how is Morgan going to deal with that knowing that he got somebody killed?
yep.
Yeah, so I mean that would be very very interesting. I mean that wolf is like one of the major players. Like we've seen a lot with that particular wolf. So
Yeah.
I agree, man. We might see him once again as a walker towards the future episodes.
I just hope he doesn't kill anyone, but maybe if he kills someone, Morgan will snap out of it and change his ways into the badass that he used to be, like in episode 12 of season 3, Clear. I think I got that right. When he was shooting, about to kill Rick and Michonne and Carl. I want him to in that stage again.
That was one of the best episodes I think I've seen in The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, I agree. Definitely.
Also, it's kind of crazy. Like when it comes to the Walking Dead TV series, I feel like the first season was the best. I feel like the second season was more of a binge watching season. If you binge watch that on Netflix, you're gonna really enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
I feel like 3, 4, and 5 they have their moments. I felt like the governor was he was the most disappointing character I've seen in The Walking Dead so far. I felt like he could be more menacing. He could have done more. I mean, the comics are just way more better when it comes to the governor.
Yeah.
But this season, it seems like it's on the same trend. It does great the first few episodes, and then it seems like it loses momentum until it gets to the mid-season finale. I don't know if you agree on that or not.
No, yeah, I agree. The first 2 episodes were great.
Fantastic.
All these cast members are getting expensive. That's why they're all not in the same episodes. That's why Carol had her own episode. I think it was the second episode, JSS, and now this episode a couple days ago, episode 6 was just with Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha. If they all throw them in one episode, it's very costly. So I mean. Yeah. I guess that's why they're doing it. Hopefully, we'll see the couple episodes with the whole cast member in one episode. That'd be awesome.
And I've been saying, man, I mean, they got a huge cast, so they got to kill some people off. Yeah, honestly,
we're due for that very soon.
Very, very soon, especially with the mid-season finale coming along. Okay, Mike, we got to get into this topic here. Glenn. Is he alive or is he dead? I want to hear what you have to. What are you thinking right now? What is on your mind when it comes to Glenn, that whole situation, and basically holding it off, basically for the mid-season finale? Probably we'll have confirmation.
All right, I feel like we can talk for days about this topic. All right, first off, I think he's alive. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Glenn. I love Glenn as a character. I don't want him to die, but I think it's very unrealistic for him to survive that thing that happened with Nicholas in a couple episodes back without a scratch or
yeah.
I think it's very unrealistic.
Thank you, Mike. That's exactly what I thought as well. I mean, come on. If it's any other character, that character is dead.
Oh yeah, dead. Without a doubt, dead.
If it wasn't that, yeah, but because it's I think Glenn's alive, and I think that's a major cop-out. I think AMC, all the creators who are doing The Walking Dead, everybody behind it, should just have the balls and just say, all right, you know what? We're going to show you Glenn, but he's going to be dead.
Yep.
I think maybe if he is dead, I think that's where the Herschel's watch comes into play. Oh. That's my gut feeling. If they decide to keep him dead, that will be confirmation for Maggie and stuff.
Like they to find the watch on the road, right?
Huh?
Like the confirmation, like they'll find the watch that Herschel gave Glenn, like somewhere on the road or something.
Yes, or maybe even they go to that dumpster where it was. I don't know, something like that. Okay. But honestly, if you've seen my breakdown video and all the evidence and this and that, I got to lean towards Glenn being alive. I think he is alive, and I think they're definitely he's alive, man. I think they want to do it. I don't think they have the balls to do it.
I agree with you. I think he is, without a doubt, alive. And that might have been him on that walkie-talkie saying help.
I was going to get to that, yeah. So you think it's him?
It doesn't sound like him, but these showrunners, they want to play tricks with your mind. It sounded more like Rick, but I really think it was Glenn. Really
man. When I heard it, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought it was Rick.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people have been saying maybe that's Glenn. But I'm like, that does not sound like Glenn. That sounds more like a Rick, or maybe it's even another character. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because we have yet to see Jesus.
Oh man, I think he's coming soon. What do you think?
I think he's coming after the mid-season. Or you know what? Maybe he will appear on the mid-season. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, maybe mid-season or probably around episode 10 or 11, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for this character to come because he's one of the best characters in the Walking Dead comics.
Definitely one of my favorites in the comics. Definitely, without a doubt.
So with going back to Glenn, when we do get confirmation, if we ever get it, but I'm pretty sure we did. I think the showrunner said that they were going to do it.
Yeah.
What episode, or where do you think they're going to do that? Do you think they're going to do the mid-season or a little bit after? Where do you think they're going to have full confirmation that Glenn is alive or dead?
I'm hoping it's this Sunday coming up, episode 7. But honestly, I think it's either going to be probably the mid-season finale.
I think it's going to be mid-season too, because a lot of I thought we were gonna. It feels like we're not moving forward with the series. It feels like we're moving a little bit. We're just stale. Like we're staying right there. We're not moving forward with any of the story or anything like that. I feel like it's just really kind of filler, a little bit filler in these couple of episodes that we had. Especially with going back to Morgan. I know we're talking Morgan, but going back to Morgan, the one thing I didn't like that I realized, not only was it an hour and a half, but did we really need to hear Morgan's story, his backstory, and how he got there and what he learned and stuff? Did we really need to hear that? Did we really need to see that?
I mean, we need to see a little bit, but definitely not an hour and a half. I heard that it was an hour and a half, like a week before the episode, and I was so excited for it. And then I'd seen the episode. I'm like, it's like an hour in. I'm like, all right, something crazy is gonna happen, and then it just ended. Like blah. I don't know. I wasn't satisfied.
Yeah, it was taken away from my football time, man.
Oh man.
That's the problem with The Walking Dead. It's during my football time.
Yep, on Sundays, right? Oh man.
Oh yeah. Dead Walking Sundays. So speaking of another Morgan, let's talk Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Oh.
Cast as Negan. How do you feel about that casting, Mike? A lot of opinions, but I think everybody is on board.
I'm not too familiar with his work, but after I heard about his casting, I looked up some videos of him on YouTube and stuff, and I seen a lot of comments saying that he's going to be supposedly great for the casting, and I'm going to have to, I guess, agree with everyone else on that, and very excited to see what he has to offer. This could be a very big jump start in his career, like a very big part of his career if he puts 100% into it.
I think he will. I definitely think he will. And I've seen things where there's a leaked photo or leaked footage of him already, but I don't want to take a look at that until the episode comes.
Yeah, I seen it today. Honestly, it's very terrible quality. That's all I'm going to say, and it doesn't really give away much.
It's like that Star Wars Force Awakens, man. Everybody's trying to get something out of it.
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. This guy, I've seen him in maybe two things, maybe a little bit more. I can't remember. But what he's mostly known as is the comedian from Watchmen, the film.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he did like that movie. I was a little bit, it was okay, but that movie, like his performance was really, really good. Like he was just a great, he was a douchebag, but yeah, he had sincerity in him. I mean, overall, that what he did with the comedian was spot on. Like it was spot on because I read the comics too, and I could picture this guy being the comedian from the comics. And then I also saw him in The Losers, which he was more comedic, and he definitely was more the kind of like the anti-hero type dude. And I think he's just gonna nail this role. I think he's gonna. I like this casting. I think it's a fantastic casting. I think he's really going to just really dwell into this role because, like you said, it's definitely a career boost because he hasn't been heard of for a while, and I think this is going to really shoot his career off.
Yeah, and I think he knows that too. So that's why I think he's going to put 110% into it. I think he's going to do a great job. From what I heard, like you said, the comedian in Watchmen, I've yet to see that, but I've heard nothing but good things. That he played a great job in that role as a comedian, and Just so excited. But do you think it's too soon to bring Negan in?
Um, no, I don't think it's too soon. I think The Walking Dead has. I think it's about the right time, and I think that too because we have Carl's situation where Carl is growing up so fast,
Yes, yes.
and I think we got to introduce Negan now, and then because Carl's just going to be a huge part of the story going forward once Negan is in the picture.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think so. I think they're doing. When I was thinking about like when are they going to introduce Negan, I think they're introducing them at the right time. I don't think they're going to do it right away. I think they're going to do it, especially the final episode or the final episodes of this season 6. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine because we're going to really get into them in season 7.
Oh yeah, and I have to agree with you there. I think it's probably going to be the season finale when we first see him. Like not even like in the beginning of the season finale, maybe like the last 5 or 10 minutes. We're gonna run into Negan, and you know that thing that happened in issue 100. I think that's what's gonna happen, and people are just.
Well, there's spoilers, man. There's spoilers. Everybody knows. Everybody knows at this point.
You don't, and you're not really. I don't know, not that big of a fan if you don't know by now. Because even if you watch the show, you've had to have heard at least once or twice what happened in that issue of the comics.
Oh my God! I mean, when you read that issue, like. What was going on in your mind? Because that was like one of the most brutal, just in your face. The drawing of it, everything about that issue was just absolutely. It really, I can't pick it up and read it again. Honestly, it was that bad. It was that bad for me.
Yeah, man. I'd have to agree with you 100% there. I think I got a little teary-eyed because Glenn was around since the beginning.
The beginning, yeah.
And that I put myself in Rick's shoes, like, and Rick was on his knees crying, and what he said to Negan, he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and I just put myself in Rick's shoes and everyone else's shoes. Like, imagine being on your knees and there's literally nothing you can do watching one of your good, you can call them family members, getting head bashed in. His eye socket was popped out of his head.
Oh.
Yeah, so that shook me up a little bit. That definitely did. Terrible.
And then Glenn was the one who saved Rick.
Yeah.
Couple times.
Yeah, more than once. Definitely more than one occasion.
So this is what I'm thinking. My theory is, or what I'm feeling, my gut feeling is that when it comes to that time in a television series, I don't think it's going to be Glenn. I think it's going to be Daryl. They're going to switch him out with Daryl. That is my gut feeling.
Oh, man. Honestly, Daryl's getting me a little aggravated because everyone feels like it's his show, like he's the main character, but it's really Rick. It's either going to – I'd have to agree with you. It's probably going to be either Daryl or Glenn. Who else can it be? Because it has to – if you think about it, it has to be someone from the original group.
Most definitely. And you know what? It's what I said is basically – with Glenn, it was such a surprise and it was such a shock. Like, you don't get moments like that very often.
No.
But, I mean, Walking Dead has a lot of moments, but that one was just something. That one was something crazy. Everybody was talking about it. I think they want the same punch, but they know that Glenn. Everybody's expecting Glenn to get it, but they're not expecting Daryl to get it.
Oh yeah.
They're not expecting to kill one of their most popular characters in the series. I think it'd be a crazy way to end the season. I think it would be. I would tip my hat, buy all the Blu-ray seasons, and I would say, good job, AMC.
That would be very risky for AMC to kill Daryl, especially in that way at the last episode of a season. Because think about it. Do you think their ratings, their viewership will go down the first episode of season 7 now that Daryl's gone?
I think they will take a hit, but if they do, I think that's why I think they're going to keep Glenn alive a little bit too, is because Glenn is another reason why those ratings are up, because everybody loves Glenn too.
Oh yeah.
But that all really changes if Glenn does end up dying or is dead.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the problem with popular shows, is they have to take a seat back and they got to do fan service. The fans want this. The fans want that. They don't really go to their first thing, and that's telling the story. That's your first priority, is telling the story.
Mhm.
So
Fans. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I love Daryl. I think Daryl's awesome. But I mean, what a way to really cap off a season and really just shake the world up a little bit if you kill off Daryl in that manner. And of course, I don't think it's going to be as if they do that moment with either Daryl or Glenn. Of course, it's not going to be as bad as it was in the comic books.
Oh no, I don't think AMC could pull that off, because that was literally brutal. There's a lot you can get away with on a piece of paper in a comic book versus on a TV show, and uh, I think you're right. It's either going to be Daryl or Glenn. I mean, who else can it be if you really think about it? Who else is
I don't
around
think,
from the original group?
yeah, I don't think it's going to have that much of an emotional pact like it did. So it has to either be Glenn or Daryl. I think that would really honor what happened in the comic books and really would say something.
Yeah.
And it would introduce Negan. If Negan killed Daryl, oh man, like how Negan killed Glenn, we are watching this mofo and we're seeing if he gets his. But then along the way, we're like, damn it, I hate you, but I like you.
Yep. I think it's going to show that he's a force not to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah,
Especially if it's Daryl.
Yeah, I mean it remains to be seen. We still got a lot more Walking Dead left.
Oh yeah.
Before we get into the comics, let's talk a little bit. How'd you feel about Fear the Walking Dead? What you think about the first season?
I'm glad you asked that. I feel like it's a slow burn, but I think the second season is going to be really, really good. I mean, I'm not saying that season 1 wasn't good, but I just felt like once I heard that there was going to be another show and Fear the Walking Dead was coming on, I expected a lot more.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm having my hopes too high, but I think they could have done a lot more with the first 6 episodes. But I think it's gonna have a big kickstart in season 2, and they're gonna do real well.
I feel I hope I hope that season 2 is definitely a lot better because I feel like season 1 I was disappointed. Like I was really the characters. I really didn't like any of the characters. I really couldn't root for any of the characters, honestly. I think what I really grew to like was the barber. I forgot his name.
Yep.
And the mom of the son who was doing the video camera and all that stuff, who ended up biting it at the end. I called that.
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah. So I think those were the only 2 characters I really liked. And at first, I did like what's his name, the junkie.
Nick. I think his name's Nick, right?
Yeah, Nick. I liked Nick in the first couple episodes, but then he started to get whiny and felt he just came off as really just a whiny little brat.
I like Nick. I feel like he's going to turn around for the
once he is able to stay off the drugs, his character better. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I felt like his sister was just so. She was nowhere to be seen. Honestly, they didn't know what to do with her.
She was just there.
Yeah, she was She was like, "Oh yeah, I have problems too. My boyfriend, he's a walker now."
Yeah.
But I hope season 2 they touch up on it and they really it has potential, like I always say. But
oh yeah, without a doubt.
The first season was a little bit of a disappointment. I actually would have liked. I thought it would have been cool if they actually would have had, instead of telling the story about how this all started, which how did it all start? Like, did they really get into? I don't know if I missed something, but did they get into how it was really caused, the whole virus outbreak?
No, I don't think they did. I think they just show like the first couple days of the outbreak, but they didn't really show like the actual cause. I don't think of what had happened. I think Kirkman wants to stay away from that because it'll arise too many questions, and then people start nitpicking little things. And
I felt the same way when this show was announced. I thought they were going to do that. And I'm like, why? Why are you going to tell us how it all started? We don't need to know either. Like Morgan, we don't need to know. But it would have been. I thought it would have been really cool if they would have brought somebody from the original series, or the Walking Dead that we have right now, split them off and have his little group and just follow his group. That would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. That would have been really cool. Who says they're not going to do that in the future? Because this is a huge franchise, and they
Oh
can
yeah,
do anything. You know?
yeah. Actually, I've been hearing that AMC is trying to pick up another zombie series. I don't know what it
Oh,
is. So that's a
oh,
lot of zombies. And so Mike, like, let me ask you this question. All right. So do you feel like the general public, everybody who is, watching the TV series, not too much of a comic book reader, but watches the television show, right? Fear, the regular Walking Dead. Do you feel like there's a little fatigue of the Walking Dead right now? Just a little bit. Like there's not that many people who are like, oh, yeah, it's The Walking Dead. Like, do you feel like it's going to drop pretty soon, the ratings and everything
that's
else?
a really, really good question. I hope not, but I definitely see the possibility. I think that's why they're bringing in Negan now,
Hmm.
because they feel that the same way as maybe me and you do, is that the ratings may drop soon. So I
Yeah.
think that's why they're bringing in Negan now. Because once Negan comes in the show, in my opinion, I don't know about you, I'm sure you're on the same page as me, but I think the show is going to be 10 times better with Negan involved.
Negan just that personality, man.
Yeah.
He's he's awesome. He's awesome. He's probably my favorite villain in the Walking Dead universe.
Oh, yeah.
I would really have to think pretty hard because Alpha, and we're gonna go from TV Fear to the comics. Alpha, I really like this character Alpha. I think she's doing a lot of damage. The last issue where she slits the guy's throat because he saw her cry.
Oh, man. And I
I
seen
mean,
your video. You called it. You called it just like I
yeah.
did. Right before I turned that page, I was like, she's gonna kill this guy.
See, I don't know my shit, but I do know my shit. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
yep. And I seen you call that. I seen you call that in your video. You're absolutely right. She did. She slit his throat.
Yeah. Okay, Mike. I mean, you gotta. I'm gonna let you have this comic book series, The Walking Dead. Let's get into the Eugene. Let's get into Eugene. You have a great theory of what might happen in the upcoming issues. Just go for it, man. Tell me what your theory is with Eugene.
All right, because we had all that war. We had the hunters, the governor. And now we have the Whisperers. What's next after the Whisperers? And I think Kirkman has been giving us little hints. When they were at the fair a couple issues back, and Eugene seen like pieces of the broken CB radio, and he did the trade with the guy at the fair. And then a couple issues after that, you see him working on the CB radio.
Mm-hmm.
And then in issue 144, when we found out about all those horrific deaths, you see him working on the CB radio again. So I think that's what's going to be the next story arc after the Whisperers. This CB radio is going to be fixed. Because remember, when we first met Eugene, he had the walkie-talkie, and he was
Mm-hmm.
lying about talking to people in Washington or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, that'd be awesome if it flip-flops, and now he's actually telling the truth about the CB radio, about contacting other people. So I think that'd be a great twist if the new story arc after the Whisperers or whatever it is, we see like maybe a new community or a new group of people or something like that, like a larger world as we had in the 90s, I think. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna see. A lot more people out in the world, and Eugene might be fixing that radio for a reason.
I absolutely love that theory. I'm pretty much on board with you, man, because we also saw Michonne coming back from sea.
Oh yeah,
So, I mean, I don't think, and it was just like briefly too, because, okay, Michonne's back from sea. She saw everything and everything. So, I mean, I don't think Kirkman is just going to leave that there and never pick up on it. I think that's the next thing is to really go by sea and see what's out there. But Mike, what do you think is out there? What do you think? Do you think people are doing a lot better out there, and Rick's struggling, or it's the total opposite?
I don't know. Well, first off, if you survived, I would say we're about at least 5 years in the apocalypse in the comics, right? Would you agree with me on that?
I would agree. I definitely would agree.
So if you're around 5 years or better in this world, you have to be a tough group, tough people. So I don't know if they're struggling. I don't know if they have a community, a bunch of communities like the Hilltop and the Kingdom, Alexandria, like we do. But I think whoever's out there is going to be a tough group of people in whatever ways they're taking this new world.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, so this is the one thing we're a little bit. It's hard. It's hard to predict when it comes to the Walking Dead comic series because you never know what Kirkman's going to do. I mean, I was scared to death that Andrea was going to die in the last issue. I remember commenting on a comment. I forgot who it was, where it could either go, Lydia dies, Andrea dies, they both die, or maybe Kirkman just throws that out there and just really just says, you know what, nobody's going to die. They're just going to resolve it. And that's what happened. They just resolved it.
Yeah.
That little conflict between Lydia, Andrea, and Carl. So what we discussed is Rick. What is the future with this war coming? What is the future of Rick? You believe he's going to still survive. You want him to still survive, and I believe he's going to bite the dust pretty soon. Give me your thoughts on what we discussed here.
Like you said, I definitely don't want Rick to die. Not this time. I want to see more of a badass side of Rick before he bites the dust. And I don't know. I think Kirkman still has a little bit more planned for him. Maybe we'll stretch it out another 10, 20, 30 issues with Rick. But I don't know. I just can't see him dying right now because if he dies now, he's not really in his prime. He's not really in his prime. The community's turning against him, and his son he's not on really good terms with his son. I don't know. I think he has to do a little bit more before he bites the dust.
So what I'm feeling is, I like what you said. That could definitely happen. I mean, Kirkman could definitely have more plans for Rick. I mean, what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling right now is I feel that Rick is done. I feel like Rick's character overall, he was the main character from issue 1 to now. I feel like there's nothing left really for him to do because he's done it all. And yes, they are in a crisis right now. Yes, there's a pending war right now. Yes, a lot of things are happening right now, but I feel like everything's going to be redeemed towards the end of this war. But I feel like Rick is definitely going to die at the end of this war, and I feel like Kirkman is just shining the light on Carl and really going to have him really step up into Rick's shoes. And then I think Negan is going to kill Rick. I think Negan will help Rick in this war, but I think Negan will kill Rick. So how do you think he's going to die, Mike, when he does bite the dust?
Okay. You know what? You could be right now that I'm thinking about it. If you think about how we first met the Whisperers and we captured Lydia, which was Alpha's daughter, the leader of the Whisperers, and then we did the exchange at the Hilltop. Maggie gave back Lydia for 2 of the Hilltop's residents.
Mm-hmm.
Then Carl went after Lydia. So if Rick dies, it's probably going to be at the hands of Alpha or one of the Whisperers, in my opinion.
Okay.
So that might make Carl feel like he's to blame for Rick's death, because if you think about it, it is kind of Carl's fault that all this conflict is happening with the Whisperers, because he did go after Lydia.
So it's a little bit of that Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Definitely a little bit of that Romeo and Juliet.
That'd be crazy if Negan does kill him, though. That'd be really crazy.
Do you think Negan will survive the war?
I don't know why, but I personally think Negan's going to be around for a long time. Really long time.
I see. Also, the other half was I think Carl's going to kill Negan.
Oh.
I don't know why I feel that way. I have a gut feeling that he'll do that. Most likely that won't be the case. I mean, I thinking about it, maybe he will be here for a while, a couple more, definitely more issues to come. And the question has to be too, Lydia. Is Lydia just a throwaway character for Kirk? Not a throwaway character, but is she just here for because of this war, or is she actually going to be with Carl? Because I don't think Carl's going to die. I don't think Carl's going to die at any point. Do you think she's going to definitely survive this war too, and she's going to be like one of the main kind of definitely be with Carl as he grows up?
I'm not too sure. I mean, I still don't fully trust Lydia, and I think Carl needs to snap out of his lovey-dovey stage and see the bigger picture. I wouldn't mind if Lydia stays for long term. I can definitely see Kirkman taking that route. I definitely could.
We still have Sophia too.
I think that's going to be something in the future too.
Yeah, I mean, so speaking of futures, and we're trying to predict what might happen. How long is this going, man? Let's go years, because there could be many issues, but let's go years. How many years do you think this is going to go? And yeah, from this point, like how many more years do you think until it ends?
The comic book series in general, or just the Whisperer story arc?
No, the comic book in general.
Oh man, I honestly hope it doesn't end for a very long time. I want it to last at least 250, 300 issues.
Yeah, that would be a special number.
Another 10 years, right? If you think about it.
Well, we're on, what issue are we on? We're on
149 comes out in about 3 weeks.
What was it?
Issue 149 comes out in about 2 or 3 weeks.
So. Oh, that's right. We're on 149. I mean, oh damn, that's not that much, dude. That's not that much really at all if you think about it. But you could binge read this. You can still binge read this.
Yeah.
And of course, I recommend you watch, like anybody, read the comic book. I know a lot of people probably say that to a lot of people who just watch the TV series, but I'm not a comic book fan. But when I read Walking Dead, I mean, it was fantastic. I think the comic book series is definitely superior than the TV series.
Oh, and I'm 100% on your level. I've never read a comic book in my life until I started watching the Walking Dead show, and I just couldn't get enough of Walking Dead. So I picked up the comics. I heard there was comics. I picked it up, and we're here now talking. I can't get enough.
This is the first podcast, man. This is actually the first time we're actually meeting face to face too.
Yeah.
So man, it's great stuff, dude. We still got more Walking Dead. We still got more issues. We still got definitely. There's a lot to look forward with the Walking Dead in general.
Yep.
Of course, we still got Comic-Con to look forward to and the conventions to look forward to.
Those are great. Those are definitely great.
You know what? Before, I know this is a Walking Dead podcast, but dude, you got to tell me your experience at New York Comic-Con, because I go to San Diego Comic-Con, and I've never been to New York Comic-Con. How was that?
I hear San Diego's the best cons to go to, but New York Comic-Con is, it's amazing, man. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. There's just the environment, all the people, like they love the same things you love, and you just met Robert Kirkman. I just meet a bunch of people. I don't know if you watch Impractical Jokers. You just meet so many people, and just so many new fans you run into. You make friends. It's just an awesome environment. There's so much merchandise, like you said. Save up, because you're gonna need a lot of money for these conventions, because it goes.
Yeah, you do. You need a lot of money.
Yeah.
I do the same thing with San Diego, man. You mean it's just great being in the same environment where everybody you'll run into somebody who likes something that you enjoy that's there in a convention. It could either be TV, film, comics, anime, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, just being with the friend. I talk to people, like I go around and I actually talk. I mingle with people. Hey man, that's cool. Cool item, and then we chit chat and stuff. I mean. San Diego Comic-Con is awesome. Any Comic-Con that you go to, a convention, is amazing. And boy, is there a lot of Walking Dead merchandise I want to buy.
Yeah. Wish I had a lot more money than I did. I mean, I told you, I saved 3-4 months for these cons, and still not enough money.
Hey, you need to save for San Diego, brother. You need to come down here. We need to get some drinks. We need to buy some Walking Dead merch.
I
You do
know.
it, man.
I hope I can make it. I hope I can make it. And if I do, you'll be the first one I call, without a doubt,
Yeah.
Dan.
Hell yeah, man. We're gonna party. We're gonna party. We're gonna go to the convention too, and we're gonna enjoy just everything that's surrounding. You'll definitely this is the birthplace, man. This is San Diego Comic Con is the place to be.
Yeah. And plus, I've never
And
been to California, so got to get my butt down there.
yes, we have, as you can see with the things and those, we have a lot of good food. A lot of good food. Too much to chew.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope. If I don't make it this year, I'm going to make it my goal to make it there in 2017, without a doubt.
And like I said, I will help you out. I'll try to make sure you get those tickets, brother.
You're the man. You're the man.
And you know what? Hey, now that when you go to conventions and stuff, now you could definitely rep this channel because now you're part of this channel.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I do.
It's Mike. Now it's Mike. It's a Walking Dead Mike. Walking Dead Mike is now part of Team Bring It right here.
All right. I'm loving it. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know what? Man, I think we talked a lot of Walking Dead. I don't want to go too, make this like a 3-hour thing.
Oh, because we definitely could if we wanted to.
We could. 3 hours alone for Glenn.
Yeah, just for Glenn.
For Glenn. But you know what? I'm gonna end it pretty much right here. I think we talked a lot of Walking Dead. I think we really covered a lot of what's happening right now. Definitely have more questions for the next podcast. But Mike, this seems like, hey, this is gonna work, brother. This is awesome. I like what's going on right here. So what do you say? More Walking Dead podcasts?
Without a doubt, Dan. Whenever you're ready for the next one, I'm ready.
Well, let's watch that Sunday episode, and then I bet you there's going to be a lot to talk about on Sunday's episode.
There better be a lot to talk about, man, because like we said, it's been a disappointing past couple episodes. So let's see what happens.
Most definitely. Before we go, I'm pretty interested in your opinion on this. Do you watch Talking Dead right after the episode?
Okay. I do watch Talking Dead. I do, but I didn't catch this week's Talking Dead. I did not catch it. I was in North Carolina doing some family business, and Into the Badlands was on, and just passed out to that.
Yeah, I usually, so do you like the Talking Dead? Do you think it's yes or no? Or
I mean, I like it. It's all right. It gives you a lot more information. Like it.
No,
a lot of things. Yeah. So.
I feel for Chris Hardwick or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Because every week when they don't confirm Glenn's alive, he's like, I know you want to know about Glenn, but we got to talk about this episode. Maybe next week. That guy knows. That guy knows if Glenn's alive or dead.
Yeah. I would say without a doubt, he has to know.
He knows. I gotta say, dude, Mike, I did a review for Into the Badlands. I had low expectations going into that series, but you know what? It's actually really good. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
No, I'm probably gonna check it out maybe tonight or tomorrow. I think they're streaming it on AMC.com, so I might give it a look.
Check it out, man. Let me know. But I think AMC has another hit. Honestly, if it's like same quality as the first episode, I think they have another hit on their hands.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was like the most highest rated show or premiere of the year, even beating out Walking Dead.
No way.
I think so. I think I read that somewhere. Wow. That is insane. And I had low expectations going into it, and it was fantastic, man. The action sequences were fantastic. The characters you could really get on board with. Yeah. I mean, check it out, Mike, and let me know what your thoughts on that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm definitely going to check that out soon. If not today, within the next couple of days, I'll definitely give that a look at. Awesome.
All right, Mike. This is I don't even have an outro for our podcast here. Until I guess I'll just do the regular one. Just the regular one I always do. So I'm Dan the Man. This is Mike. Wait to the people, Mike.
See you later, guys. It was nice.
And you could find all our my videos and Mike's, because Mike's part of this crew now.
Yeah.
At the end of Man reviews on YouTube. Subscribe, would really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. Love to hear all your guys' thoughts on what we had to talk about. And if you agree or disagree, whatever you want to do, I'll always reply to you, whether you agree or disagree. So, any words? Any words, Mike? Anything?
Very glad that you considered me to be on the podcast, and I'm definitely looking forward to more. I love talking about this. We can talk about this for days and days.
And Mike was just a subscriber, but then he became a brother.
Yep. Looking forward to more, brother, man.
We got that Rick and Daryl thing going on there. You're my brother.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Until next time, until we talk more, The Walking Dead. I'll see you guys later. We are out.